Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and it's time for our next Saturday with Stacy YouTube class number 310, and it is absolutely a doozy. Holy smokes, artichokes. I'm gonna get my pause face on because I think you may want to take notes on this one. Okay, are you ready? I'm gonna pause just for a second. There's my pause face. Hello, there's my pause face. I don't blink because no doubt that when you pause me and I'm in between a blink. So anyway, I hope you grabbed a piece of paper and pencil. You may want to take notes on this class. It is about die cutting, and I am using dies from Sizzix that are not new dies. You may already own some of these and they still might be in the packaging, but I have a feeling that many of you passed these dies up because you did not know what they could do. And so I requested samples of them because I really wanted to play with them. And they sent me a sample of each, and I'm like, oh yeah, but we have to show a storyboard because when they see all that they get, the packaging, well, the packaging's not bad. I mean, the pictures are really pretty and things like that. I don't think that you fully understand what you get for your money. Now, I also have paper leather from Sizzix, which I haven't done in a long time, and you guys might not even know what paper leather is. You might not have ever even heard of it. I'm going to teach you about that. I'm going to teach you and show you a brand new limited edition Sizzix Big Shot machine. And we are not the only ones to have it. I want to make that perfectly clear. It is a limited edition machine, and only certain retailers. It was only offered to certain retailers. I know that there's other retailers online that are also carrying it. I think we may be one of the first to actually bring it out, but I can't wait to show it to you. Is it like the Sizzix Big Shot machine or Big Kick machine you already have? Yes, this one's just different. It's blue and it has designs on it. Do you have to own it? No. You don't have to. This is definitely, if you already have a Big Shot or a Big Kick machine, this is definitely a want and not a need. Now, if you don't own any die cutting machines, then this is much more of a need because it is fabulous. It's cute, and I can't wait to show it to you. I also have product from a company called Best Creations. Now, they're a company here in Southern California, and I used to do a lot of their glitter tapes and their twines and things like that, and we loved it, but then I thought it all got discontinued. So we clearanced it out and took it offline, and then I was only getting their little foam squares. Well, Richard and Madeline from Best Creations called, gosh, a couple months ago, and they said, can we come see you? And I'm like, well, sure. I'm always up for a good appointment. And they came in with this box, and I mean a box of stuff, and my mind is going, whoo, and I'm like, probably like you guys, a kid at a candy store when all these new things are being put in front of me, and I was so excited about the new things until I saw the old things. There they were, the products I thought had been discontinued. I said, well, you can't show me these. I can't buy them. And they're like, why can't you buy them? And I said, well, they're discontinued. They said, they're not discontinued. And I must have shouted, wahoo kachoo. I scared them because it's value priced, it's awesome quality, and it's usable product. So I'm excited to be able to bring back some of my favorites that we thought we had to let go of. That makes my heart so happy. And if it wasn't for Richard and Madeline, bless their pea-picking hearts, again, once they got out from underneath the table of and realized wahoo kachoo is good, we had a great time. So I have lots to show and lots to share with you. I want to give you an update on Mr. SMS, my husband Michael. For those of you who are watching for the first time, I am a small independent retail store owner, and we're a family business, and my husband has been going through some medical issues, and so we finally met with his cardiologist and the thoracic surgeon, and Michael is going to be having a quadruple bypass no later than September 12th. It turns out that he has 7 blockages in his heart right now, and the doctors are all looking at him like, wow, you're doing pretty good for the damage to your heart. one of the main arteries is 100% blocked and calcified. So the surgeon that he has picked is a top surgeon. Couldn't ask for any better. And the earliest they could do it was September 12th, but Michael is first on the waiting list should there be a cancellation between now and then. So we're kind of like on baby watch again. We've got our bags packed. And when the hospital calls and says, come on down, we're going on down. He's done most of his labs and all the things you have to do before surgery. He will be there for at least 5 days, and Michael is diabetic, so it could be longer than 5 days. What does that mean? It means that I may have to skip a YouTube. I'm going to do my best not to. Truly, I am, because I get as much out of this as you say I give you. This is my therapy session. And so I'm going to try to continue and be, not miss a week, but I know we're family, and I know you will understand it. For some reason, I cannot. Family's first, and I know that I have all of you out there behind us and praying for us, and we need those prayers. Michael's dad passed away at 54, and both of his brothers had heart attacks at 54, and Michael's 54, and I've never seen a man want to turn 55 so fast. He wants this year to be done and over. So, but he was born in March, so we've got a little ways to go. So the surgeons are optimistic, but are also realistic. So we're just gonna hang tight and get through this, all of us. I will keep you posted, updated. As soon as I know if we're going in for surgery early, I'll let everybody know. I will reach out to you, my family, as I need to, because I know I'm going to need to. But I'm also super good at compartmentalizing. It's amazing. I must have like 1 million boxes up here where I put something in a box and then I store it away until I am able to deal with it. I usually never go back to those boxes. So Michael's really concerned that one day all the lids on the boxes are going to come off. And he's like, oh. I'm like, oh, don't worry, it'll be fine. Anyway, that is what's going on with Mr. SMS. It is not as good as we had hoped for. But there is a solution and a plan in place, and we are just going to go forward and face it head on and be team strong. And we're going to be celebrating our 24th wedding anniversary in just a few days, and no reason why we shouldn't have 25 more. Yeah, sure. All right, you guys. Again, thank you for your love, support, your cards to Mr. SMS, just your prayers. We so appreciate it, and I'll keep you updated. But now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. I have winner chicken dinner to announce. Are you ready? Because these people, this is from last week where I was doing my designs, Simply Defined. Oh my gosh, those sold out really fast. Some of them are gone. There's still a few things left, but mostly gone. But these two lucky winners, and I can say their names. I looked at them and I said, oh, it is a banner day. I can pronounce all of it. First name, last name, no middle names. And also, I want to let you know, somebody posted a comment that they never see any names that are not proper. Do we not accept proper names, for usernames? If your username is crafty12345 and our software picks crafty12345, that is what I will announce. So it doesn't have to be a proper name. If you don't use your actual name as your username on YouTube, don't worry about it. If that's what gets picked, that's what I'll announce. And yes, we absolutely will ship to you if you're a winner chicken dinner and it's international. If we can get it to you somewhere in the world, we will get it to you. So no worries about that at all. Okay, so our winner chicken dinners from last week, who are going to win some of the Simply Defined product. Are you ready? Oh, you're winning the bundle. Happy day for you. Hello. That's like $70. Okay, our first one is Juanita Stevens. Hello, Juanita. Is that you? Hello, Juanita. Do you see your name? Are you going, ah? If I were you, I'd be doing that. Very excited for you, Juanita. Let me put that to the side. And then we have Kathy Norman. Hello, Kathy Norman. Is that you? Are you going, did she really just say Kathy Norman? Kathy with a K? Yes, Kathy with a K, and Norman with an N. You too, Juanita and Kathy. You're a winner. Chicken dinner. You're a winner. Chicken dinner. Wahoo. Ka-choo. For you. Congratulations. How do you claim your prize? Go to Scrapbooking Made Simple. Look for the link that says winner, winner, chicken dinner. Follow the directions. You have 30 days from the original air date of this YouTube to claim your prize. And you don't want to pass it up, right? A whole bundle of Simply Defined. And holy smokes, artichokes, after you watch this YouTube, if you're not a die cutter, you just might want to be one. So I am going to tilt down. I'm going to get started for today. We have got amazing dies from Sizzix that you may already have. And if not, we've got them at a phenomenal price. I've got a special offer on an exclusive just to us. We're the only ones who have it on paper leather. That's at a price that is holy smokes artichokes. I have got Best Creations that I'm so glad to have back. And I'm hoping that there's something in here that will that you haven't seen before, or a teachable moment where you're like, because nothing makes my heart happier than keeping the crafting hobby going, keeping it alive and well. And so off we go. I think I'm going to tilt down and we're going to get started for today. It is so good to see all of you. There's the fire trucks. Oh my. Okay, down we go. And then I'm going to start to zoom in. And I'm going to zoom in as tight as I can. We are very low tech here, but it's about as high tech as I can go. Let's see if I can get a little bit tighter. Okay, I'm hoping that that's not too tight. I'm going to have to, maybe that's a little too tight for me because it really decreases my, okay, let's try there. If I have to come in tighter, I will. All right, this is the free make and take going on downstairs. The base was made with paper leather, and the backing of the butterfly was done with paper leather. And then I have the Best Creations glitter tape. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty and it's so inexpensive. Okay, so I have this one so everybody gets to do what they want downstairs. We've got different glitter tapes out there for them. What did I do with my other one? Oh, right here. We have different glitter tapes for them out down there. They can decorate it any way we want, any way they want. I'm going to show you how we colored the paper leather, and we are going to play. There are 4 different dies that I really want to focus on today. So again, you may want to take notes, and if so, this is, go grab your piece of paper and pencil because it's important. But super cute. If you can ever join us on a Saturday, come and do a free in-store make and take with me. All right, I'm going to put this to the side and we are going to get going. Now, what is paper leather? It looks like paper, it feels like paper, a little thicker than normal paper. It comes in lots of colors. We have it in the white, the tan, and we have it in black. Now the black and the tan, I'll show you later a special deal that we have on it. And the black and the tan is going to be in an 8.5 by 11 size, where the 6 by 6 will be on a YouTube Yummy sale. No hot, fabulous, amazing special price on it, but it only comes in the 6 by 6. So what is it? It is something close to what people know as perhaps craft text. And it is a type of paper or material that doesn't tear. The whole idea behind paper leather is that it does not tear. It gives you stability, and it can be die cut, it can be sewn, it can be washed, it can be colored. There's so many different things to do with it. If you have something that you want to keep outdoors, or you want to make something that for a bird feeder and you want little things dangling down and you want to attach mirror, this is going to withstand because it also withstands water. It holds up to water and liquid. So it's very, very useful, and die cuts like an absolute dream, and it doesn't tear. And that's super important because when you're doing a journal like this, you want to make sure that that outside doesn't tear, especially if you're going to be giving it as a gift and they're going to put it in their pocket or in their purse or in their wallet. Well, not their wallet, but definitely in their purse. You want to keep, or in their notebook or their backpack if you're doing it for kids. You want to make sure that it's going to stand up and not get ruined. And that's what paper leather does. So I'm going to start with the paper leather and then we're going to move into the dies. But I wanted to play with this first, and so I've kind of made this piece a little mushy. I'm going to bring over a different piece, and first I want to tell you, you can color it with just about anything. Anything that makes your heart happy, you're going to be able to use. I brought over a couple of my Marabou crayons. These are a soft pastel crayon. They are creamier and a higher pigment than a gelato. We love gelatos. These just happen to be a little bit nicer, a little bit better. It's a fine art product, but that doesn't mean that you have to be a fine artist to use it. Fine art means just the quality that you're starting with. So if you start with the best quality, you're always going to get a better result. And I can just go right onto my paper leather. And you can see it blends beautifully. You can color paper leather with just about anything. Easy peasy to do, and this is just a baby wipe. So if you've never seen Marabou crayons before, I have YouTubes on them. I have lots of classes on them because they're one of the most versatile products for coloring, especially if you're a newbie. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And it doesn't, it needs to dry, but it doesn't tear, it doesn't disintegrate, it doesn't ball up, it just holds its shape. You don't get like those little fuzzies on it, not at all. So that's with Marabou. But what if I wanted to take maybe a watercolor pencil? No problem. And I wanted to watercolor pencil it. No problem. What if I wanted to mix my watercolor pencil and my Marabous? Maybe I only have a few watercolor pencils and a few Marabou crayons. Can I blend them together? Sure, you can do just about anything that makes your heart happy. What you cannot do with the watercolor pencils is actually put it in water. Do not do this. No, no, no. Watercolor pencils have to stay dry. So now that this is wet, I can't take my watercolor pencil and go back over the top to add more color. No, I would need to wait until it's dry or start again someplace else and move that color into it. And you can get it as intense and as dark as you want, and you can do the same thing. You can blend. There's a yellow. And I can blend. You can stamp on top. You can heat emboss on top. Really, there's not much you can't do with your paper leather. It is very, very forgiving and very easy to use. Let me put this back and put this one back. You can stamp with Memento. You can stamp with your Hero Arts India ink. It die cuts. Like I said, it holds the heat. You can heat emboss. You can send it through an embossing folder, and it will be beautiful through an embossing folder. It's paper leather. It just holds up. And some of you may know it more like craft text. So it's very similar to that. And again, I could color this, heat set this, stitch this, wash this, and do whatever makes my heart happy. Today, however, we're going to be die cutting with it. So I'm going to bring over, you know what? I'm going to use this. Maybe I'll use this. Let's add a little more yellow in there. I'm just going to use this piece. Okay, good enough. I'm just going to use what I've got right in front of me. And I'm going to bring over a die set by David Tutera. And I think that this will be big enough. So I've got a die and stamp set by David Tutera from Sizzix. Now I want to let you know, this is at like a rock star price. This is at a killer price. There's only so many available, but this set, well, almost every set that I'm using, there's limited availability because they're not new, they're older, and you may already have this one. SKU number is 662644, just so you know. I'm gonna play with the little butterfly. And the butterfly is made of 2 pieces. This is a framelit and this is a thinlit. It's a thinlit because, well, it's paper thin. It's a wafer die because it's wafer thin. They call it a thinlit because it's got a decor on it. It's a decoration. It's an actual shape. I don't know. This is a frame versus an actual item. I don't know if that makes sense. How do I say? So definitely thinlit, definitely framelit. And the reason they call this a framelit is, well, because it's a frame. So this is an actual object. There we go. That's the word I was looking for, object, where this is the frame of the object, which is how you get the thinlit and the framelit. This will cut the shadow to my butterfly. And that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to cut that shadow first. So are you ready? Drum roll, please. Oh, and I think I am going to have to tilt back just a little bit, but I'll come back. I'll zoom back up because I've got the big shot. Here it is, the brand new, limited edition, new Sizzix Big Shot machine. That was the crowd roaring. Okay, it is blue. It does have like a little design on it. It's got the handle as normal. Can you see the design on that? It is no different than any other Sizzix Big Shot machine or Big Kick machine with the exception of the color and the design. Now, it does come with 2, not 1, but 2 glitter plates. So, let's see. Glitter. It's got the silver glitter and there are 2 glitter plates. So it comes with 2 glitter plates. It also comes with the new standard multi-purpose platform, which is now a base platform and a shim to do your thinlits and your framelits in any wafer die. So no longer is it hinged. Now it's side by side. Your base for your embossing folders and squishy and knock-knocks, and your shim to go on top to do your wafer dies like your thinlit and your framelit, or my dies. My dies are wafer dies, spellbinders are wafer dies, lots of dies are wafer dies. And then you get your two cutting plates. Now, these are too pretty for me to cut into, so I'm going to use a regular yucky cut plate, and I'm going to keep these as a do not cut plate, and I will show you what I mean when we start to cut. I have got my piece of paper, my paper that doesn't tear, my paper leather. I've got my cut plate because you can see, hopefully, that I've already started to cut into it. So cut plate, I'm going to put my cut plate down. And I've got my base platform and my shim because I need to have both to do a wafer die. So I've got both of them together. I've got my cut plate. I've got my paper. I've got my die. Oh yeah, plenty of room. And then my do not cut plate. What is a do not cut plate? Why do I call it that? Well, I want to keep this as cut free as possible, because every time you cut into a cut plate, your plate will start to warp just a little bit. It will take a while, but it will start to warp because every time you cut, you're microscopically pushing the plastic out. The best way to keep them from warping is to flip them over every time you die cut and move your dies around, not just in the center, and then flip it and move your dies around as you're cutting. These are eventually going to crack and break, and you're going to have to replace them, and that's expected. And for people who are just starting to die cut, yes, it will cut into the actual plate. It will, and it will leave a mark, and that's okay. But to have a do not cut plate where you haven't cut into it at all is kind of nice, because it keeps it nice and easy going in through your machine. Once your plates start to warp, well, then you're kind of having to tuck it in underneath to get it to roll. But if you keep a plate that has very few cuts in it or no cuts in it, well, then it's a little bit easier to roll through. Now, if I accidentally cut into my do not cut plate, it is not the end of the world. You just don't want to do that on a regular basis. That's what your cut plate is for. So I've got my sandwich all together, my base platform, my new shim, my cut plate, my paper, my die, and my do not cut plate. And I'm going to send it through my new limited edition powder blue with design Sizzix Big Shot machine. And again, it's not just limited edition to us. There are others who have it. I just know that it wasn't made available to everybody. Now, let's see. Oh, that cut beautifully. I don't even have to turn it around and bring it back. That was beautiful. I'm going to move this back over to my side, and I can zoom back in. Zoom back in a little bit. And let's pop this bad boy out. So there is paper leather. And again, because of the way it's manufactured, because of the type of product that it is not meant to tear, which is really nice. It's not your standard paper. It's got this fiber into it that will allow you to really be tough with it, okay? But it still die cuts like a dream. It really, really, really does. And again, I'm using the David Tutera dies. And we'll put that over there. Okay, so paper leather, easy to use, and the deal that we'll have on it on the black and the tan I'll tell you about later. But then we have this background die. Remember, I still have this background die. And this is where some of the Best Creation stuff is pretty rock star. Now, they have two different sizes of glitter tape. They have I guess it's a 50 mil, and it comes in 4 different colors. But then they have all sorts of other glitter tapes that have different edges to them. I'll show you later. Different edges, different colors. Amazing. But what can I do with this? Well, easy peasy. I can take a piece of my basic paper, because unless I want it to go outside, so I guess I can do 2. So I'm going to cut this, and then if I wanted to stitch it or put it outside or make an ornament out of it where it needs to have no tearing, I'm going to take my tape, I'm going to cut it, put it on my paper leather, and then I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to cut it and put it on my white paper. Hopefully it's big enough. Oh, by the hair of a chinny chin chin. That's all it needed to be. I'm going to put that there. So now I've got Best Creations glitter tape. Now, if you've got Stacy tape or somebody else's double-sided tape and glitter, you can absolutely make the glitter tape on your own without any question. But if perhaps you're a new crafter and you haven't gotten to that point yet in your crafting arsenal or your stash, this is a really good option. And again, it comes in 4 different colors. It comes in the black and the the gold and a white and a silver. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to die cut. So I'm going to zoom on back just a little bit. I guess this is where not having multiple cameras or knowing how to edit comes in. Bring over my limited edition Sizzix Big Shot machine in the powder blue. I've got my same platform. I've got my base platform, my shim for a wafer die, because this is a framelit die. Why is it a framelit? Well, because it's a frame. And wafer thin. I've got my cut plate down first, the one that I want that impression to be cut into. I've got this is the paper leather. And Sizzix dies are cut what you see what you cut. So that cut line is right on that inside edge. So if you see that it is all glitter, if you see that all you see is glitter, then that's what you're gonna cut. If you see just a little bit of white, then that's what you're gonna cut. But know that if all you see is glitter, there's no way you'll cut any of that white, because Sizzix dies are cut what you see and see what you cut. And I'm gonna roll this on through. And this is a frame die, so it's an easy peasy roll. One time through, no problem. Pop it out. There it is. And I'm gonna put now my paper. This is my paper that does tear. I'm gonna put that down. Put my die on it. And cut what you see what you cut. I don't see any of that white background paper, so I know I'm okay to roll it on through. Pop it out, and there it is on basic paper. So if you have really yucky cardstock or really yucky pattern paper that you are never going to use, but you cannot bear to throw away, this is a great way to cover it up. Nobody needs to know what's behind the butterfly. It's my secret, it's your secret, nobody needs to know. But then I'm able to take my first butterfly and lay it right on top. And I could tape that down and my first embellishment is made. You know what, I'm gonna be using the machine a lot. I'll see if I can go in a little bit tighter, but I know I'm gonna be using my machine a lot today. So pretty and so easy. Imagine if we had done it with the black and put that against the black. How beautiful would that be? Love it. And just depending upon what you put it on, it's not going to, on the paper leather, it's going to hold up a little bit better, but on regular paper, if you're just making a card or a layout, by all means use regular paper and use the paper that you don't like the most. There's no reason to cover up good paper with the tape. No, because it covers it entirely. So grab the stuff that you don't like that came into a kit that you didn't use and you just, like I said, can't bear to throw it away, or a color of orange that is not your favorite color, because nobody's ever going to see what's on the back side. Paper leather, fabulous product. Now let's get into some of the dies. First die I want to talk to you about is a mini album. Bunch of its thinlits. Your SKU number is 661094. It's by Lori Whitlock. You know from 661 that this is an older die because they're now into 664s. Okay, this is what it comes like when you buy it. This is how it's packaged. This is what you see. I want you to see what you get when you actually buy the die. So this is how it's packaged and what you're gonna see on your local scrapbooking or paper crafting store's wall. What you don't necessarily see is all the things that die gives you. So we made a storyboard for it so that you can see just how much product is in that one set. And that set is really relatively inexpensive, especially when it's going to be on a YouTube Yummy. You get a book, you get an accent piece to put on top, you get a binding, and then you get all the different decorations to make that mini album. This is a great value, but I don't know that you would appreciate that here or here. I think when you see how much you get, when it's actually die cut out for you, then you have a better idea and you can see the value in it. I'm going to start with this one because this is the easiest one to use. Well, I guess not the easiest one. It's the most self-explanatory. So I'm going to pull out my main die and pull out my secondary die. And pull out my binding. And it's gonna stick to this, I know, but that's okay. I know, we'll see. Alrighty, so I've got 3 main dies, and then all the other dies that are left are meant to, told you it was gonna stick. That sticky tape they use is so strong. All the other dies are those accent dies, the decor dies that are used to embellish what I'm gonna be doing. Let's see if I can just lay it flat like that. All right, so let's start with the base die. And I'm gonna bring over some of my black paper leather. So black paper leather, same as the white, same as the tan, doesn't tear. You can ink this, absolutely. I'm gonna cut my first die out. So let's grab a piece and let's trim this on down. And I'm going to trim this down here too. Is it going to be big enough? Ha, it is. I'm gonna put these over here on my gotcha tool, which are back in stock. Yay! All right, bring my Big Shot machine over, my limited edition. I've got my base plate down. I've got my shim for wafer dies. The multi-purpose platform is no longer hinged. This is what you're gonna get, and you're gonna get a standard size platform, wahoo kachoo. I've got my cut plate. I've got my paper leather. I'm gonna turn it slightly at an angle so that my edge here, I don't want that edge to go parallel to the roller here. Not that it will harm the die, but it will make a very loud ka-thump. Let's see if I can make it go ka-thump, and then my do not cut plate. So let's see if it goes ka-thump for me. Don't worry, the table might shake. You just never know what's gonna happen when it goes through. Are you ready? Oh, no ka-thump. What a letdown. Oh my gosh, no ka-thump at all. Okay, well, I tried for a ka-thump. Normally you would wanna put your die on a slight angle because if you hear a ka-thump, you may not be happy with that. It won't hurt anything, but you may not love the sound of it. All right, now I'm gonna take the smaller one. I'm gonna put that to the side. I'm gonna grab some tan just for the sake of contrast. I'm gonna cut my piece. And let's put it down. So my platform stays the same. My die goes down. Maybe this one will ka-thump. Let's wait and see. The suspense is, I know it's crazy, right? And let's roll it through. Oh, that was a little ka-thump. All right, there was a little bit there. Okay, we had a little ka-thump. It's a frame die, so you don't have to roll it through twice. And now, what I have is the beginnings of a mini album. There's a score line on the main die so that you can score it, so that your pages will flip. But what about the pages? What are you going to use for pages? Well, that's up to you. You can use the paper leather if you want and then cut a smaller piece. So let's cut a couple more in the large. Let's see if we can cut 2. You think we can get 2? Let's see if we can cut 2 pieces of paper leather. No guarantee. And you're saying, well, why is there no guarantee, Stacy? Well, because this is a wafer die and there's actually no cut edge. So what's cutting the paper is pressure. From that little ridge that you see, at the end there, that's what's cutting the paper from the pressure. So there isn't an actual blade. So sometimes you can get 2 pieces to cut and sometimes you can't. You just got to give it a whirl. So I'm going to send this on through. Keep those right there. Send this on through. Oh, a little tighter, because it's a little thicker. And then because I know I've used thicker material, I am going to turn it around and just send it back through one more time, just to see. And again, I'm using paper leather, not standard cardstock. If this is standard cardstock, then yes, it would cut through 2 pieces of standard cardstock without any problem. Move this over there. Let's see what we got. Oh, I definitely got 1. Oh. Right there. All right, I'm just gonna take it. So the only place it didn't cut was right on that one score, on that one line. I'm just gonna go zoop. And I don't know if my little holes will pop out. One hole. Nope, my second holes are not gonna pop out. So for this on paper leather, maybe just a one cut. But I've done 2. Can I put it back in there and cut it again? Absolutely. I can line my paper right back on up. I don't want you to think that you've ruined it. You haven't. You have opportunity to go back and make it better. Bring my machine on over. I've got my die right there. I've put my paper back in and you can kind of feel, hear it go like a little click, like it's clicked into place. I don't know, let's give it a shot. It can't hurt it, right? 1, 2. Oh, there was a good ka-thump. Oh, perfect. Ta-da! All better. All fixed. So, now I've made a super cute little mini album with a cover. But let's not forget, they gave you that little decor piece too, right here. And let's cut that out of the, oh, perfect fit. Let's cut that out of the brown. I'm gonna keep my sandwich the exact same that it's been. So if you're making a mini album and you want it to last the test of time, or you're making a guest book, or a signature book, or you're going to Disneyland and you're making your own autograph book, oh yes, use paper leather. That way it will be part of your family and your memories forever. Maybe you're going to Disney World. Either one works for me. After we got all the information from the doctors for Mr. SMS, that's where he wanted to go. So we went to downtown Disney and walked around for a little bit, and that's his happy place. And can you see that there's score lines? So you can score How cute is this? Now imagine doing this with your pattern paper, and you can make it as big as you want. I would absolutely do the cover and the back in the paper leather and the binding, and a little bit of ribbon right through there, make a cute little bow, and you are good to go. You've made your first mini album. Not hard at all. You can do this. So that is this die right here that not only gives you the mini album and the spine, but it gives you all of the decorator pieces. And wait till you see what the girls have done with the samples. They are amazing. I'm gonna set that over there, and then we are going to, oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't cut that butterfly. Okay, so I'm gonna put that there, and I have that black paper leather, and I have the butterfly. I'm gonna put this one there and that one there. I've got the black paper leather butterfly. Let's bring it on back. Let's send it on through. It's an open frame die, so one time through will be fine. It's a cut what you see what you cut from Sizzix, which means that the cutting edge is on the very inside of the die, right on that edge. Ta-da, there, and you can see, look at how close I got. But because I could see all black, I knew I wasn't off the edge. That's a nice feature. But now what to do with this? I have this one, right? And I could put it on there. Ooh, look at how pretty. But what if I wanted to color the black? Can you color the black like we colored the white? Sure, you can color any of this. It's up to you what you want to color it with. For the black, you're going to want to use something metallic, something that sits on top, like a pigment-based ink, or what we used last week. Do you know these are only $6 and like 39 cents? I was so off on the price. This is the Yasutomo metallic paint, watercolor paints, and they're out of Japan. They're beautiful. The whole palette is like $6.39. It's crazy. I don't know how Yasutomo does it, but I am not one to look a gift horse in the mouth. So I could take my paintbrush and I could get in there and I could put make a little kind of a pasty. You don't want it too wet, but you don't want it too pasty. These are great for kids, they're great for schools, they're great for churches, for senior centers, because they're so inexpensive and they are so user-friendly. And then I could just go in and paint. Can I blend my colors? Sure I can. Can I grab another color and add it to it? Sure. What if I wanted to do maybe that dark kind of red right here? Get in there, get it wet, kind of make a little paste out of it. And then when you want to, you don't have to worry about closing them up to dry. They've got room for the air to let them dry. And when you're done using them, even if they're wet, you just close them up and move on. I could add a little bit of that. Wipe that off, come back, maybe pick up a little bit more of my gold and blend them into each other. And before you know it, you've got this beautiful metallic butterfly on a dark background. It's not dry, but I will let it sit there and dry. You can blend away. Paper leather is meant to take the water. It absolutely takes the water. And when it's all dry, it's not warped, it's not stiff. That's why it's washable. And again, right over the top and glue it down. So the Yasutomo works. Any pigment-based ink is going to work on the black. Easy to do. So your Memento Brilliant or your Sukuniko Brilliance markers are going to work, or Brilliance inks, the little dewdrop inks. Those are going to work. Anything that's a pigment-based, that's got a metallic-y to it, that's going to sit on top of that black. All right, let's move to the next die. Next one, here. SKU number 661396. So again, it's a 661. It's been around for a little while. That's what you get. However, when I show it to you here, I think you can appreciate how much more you actually get. It really is amazing when you sit down and you cut everything that comes in these sets, and they're really inexpensive. Pretty awesome, right? So this is also another mini album, and I'm just going to take the main die and we're going to do the main die. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab a piece of black. And bring over my machine and send it on through. Now Sizzix has more than one machine. They have a big shot, they have a big kick, which is exactly the same thing as a big shot. Exactly the same thing. It's just that big shots are generally sold by independent retailers and big kicks are sold by your larger box stores like Michael's and Joann's. They have a plus machine, which is a wider machine. They have a pro machine, which will do 12 by 12 dies. So they have several different machines. They have a fold away machine. I happen to like the Big Shot the best because I like how sturdy it is. It's a workhorse. If you're looking for a workhorse machine, this is it. They have an express machine where you don't have to crank, you can push a button. Okay, so there's the beginnings of my mini album, and you can see the holes, and it's all scored for you. And now I'm going to grab a piece of my brown, just for contrast. Nope, a little bit big. Cut this down to size. Now I don't throw any of this away. This is not cardstock. This is not, I don't, even a strip that size I keep, because I may want to do buttons out of it. I may, who knows what embellishment. I might want to do flowers out of it. I don't know. So being that it is paper leather and not just regular cardstock paper, I keep all of it. I'm going to keep that little piece right there. I keep it all. All right, send it on through. Ooh, oh, that was good. That was a good thump, huh? If you don't want to hear that thump, you take your die and put it at a slight angle. And that way when it feeds through on the roller, it starts here and feeds all the way down, as opposed to the roller is here your die is here. These are parallel to each other. So when the die hits the roller and it's parallel, it takes it a little minute to go, and then you get the ka-thump. But if you're just at a slight angle, it feeds the die in differently so that you don't get that ka-thump. But I don't want you to think that if you get the ka-thump, it's gonna hurt your die, because it's not. I'm gonna cut this off. Keep my little piece, throw this one away. And again, now all I have to do is stack them together. And one of the things we thought we had to let go from Best Creations is their twine. How cute is this? I think the twine comes in 15 or 17 colors, and it's $1.99. It's a crazy price. How much do you get? Does it say? 15 yards. Okay, 15 yards of twine for $1.99, and it's like on a cute little popsicle stick. Is that darling? So I'm just gonna cut me a piece of my baker's twine, and I'm gonna grab some tweezers. Fussy tweezers are out of stock right now. They will be back soon. And oh, where's my second hole? There it is. And I am going to feed, see the two holes? I'm gonna feed this right into those holes. Come on. Now I could feed it this way and put it down and tie it inside. I could feed it up this way, and I could put as many pages as I want in the book. And then tie a bow. And then decorate. Really simple to do. And to decorate is even easier. What if I liked, ooh, I like this one. Okay, glitter tape. This is the smaller size from Best Creations. What if I took my glitter tape? Okay, where does it start? Oh, I can't feel it. Oh, there it is. What if I took my glitter tape? And literally just decorated it. How easy is that? Now the glitter tape also starts at $1.99 for the straight edge. The scallop, they have a couple different edges, like this one being a scallop, is $2.99, but you get 5 meters. That's 15 feet. 5 meters is a little over 15 feet. And pull it up and can you see how easy it is and fast? So while yes, you may have a die that will let you do this and make your own glitter tape with Stacy tape, and then you can take your butterfly and put your butterfly here and put your butterfly there, and in no time at all, you made the cutest little book. A little bit of twine. And again, if I wanted to tie my bow, I could tie it on the outside, or I could hide it and take this and push right through. And now tie it on the inside so that all you see on the outside is the one. Or I could do this and then take a bunch of fatter ribbons and tie them through and have the little ends come off, and this would hold all of those little, so maybe you want a fatter ribbon, maybe you want cute little fat ribbons coming off of it. You just put your baker's twine right through, tie it down, and then you can slide all of those other ribbons and tie knots and have the little ends sticking out. How stinking cute. And that glitter tape is beautiful. The colors are amazing. And like I said, it's affordable. It's something that you can use again and again and again. It's user-friendly, and it's something that most people can add to their arsenal of crafting supplies without breaking the bank. And again, if you like the straight edge, where's the straight edge? Let's see if we find a straight edge. Gold, green. I think green's a straight edge. Yep, green's a straight edge. So cute. Take my straight edge. The straight edge glitter tape is only $1.99. And it comes in the most colors. I really should tie a knot. So this is probably the hardest part of the whole book. Having somebody put their finger there so you can tie a knot. That's probably the hardest part of the whole thing. And then figuring out how you want to decorate. Well, by George. Okay, now cross over and through. Okay, there. I've tied a knot. Now my book will stay at least together. And take another piece of green. And cut it off. So you can see 5 meters, 15 feet, that's going to last you quite some time. And put it across. Wouldn't these be the cutest little, and then put a Santa in the middle of it, and then you could give these out as like, you know, or if you're going shopping for everybody and you just need a quick way to keep track of everything and you're not using your phone, don't use your phone, make yourself your cute little checklist. Or how cute for a little one to put their wish list for Santa, and you just decorate it with like, what, just, they're darling, okay? Super, super, super cute and easy, and you can add as many pages as you want because it's just the one die. That's the main die, and then all the other dies that it comes with, all the other ones, you can use to decorate. For the price, it's worth it just for that one, but then they threw in all the others as well. So that's 2 dies. So now I've shown you this guy. Where'd my little side? Oh, I've shown you this guy. And I've shown you this guy. Let's move on. Put that over there. Put that there. Next we're going to go to, I think, a steel rule die, because this is going to take a little bit of showing you how to put it together. This is what's called a steel rule die. See how thick it is? See, it's like 3/4 of an inch. See how thick that is in comparison to a wafer die. See how thin that is? Big difference between them. This, remember, I could only cut 1 piece of paper leather at a time with it, 2 pieces of cardstock. This actually has blades inside the lines. So if you were to step on this really, really hard, yeah, you could cut yourself. There is an actual blade inside, which means you can cut lots and lots and lots. It will cut through several pieces of paper at one time. So I'm going to grab 2 pieces of my paper leather because I know, no worries, this is going to cut through 2 of them without any problem. I'm going to trim my paper leather on down. And my sandwich is going to be dramatically different than what I've been using with my Sizzix Big Shot machine. So far, I've been using everything that comes with it. I've been using my base platform, I've been using my shim for wafer dies, and this comes with the machine. I've been using one of the pretty plates for a no-cut plate. This time with a wafer die, we need to change it up just a little bit. We need to get rid of both of these. We don't need either of these because these 2 put together are the same thickness as what's considered a steel rule die. R-U-L-E, steel rule. So I can put these off to the side. Now I still need to sandwich it. I'm not done sandwiching it. I have to use my sandwiches, which means I need to use my cut plate, only this time I'm going to use my cut plate on the top and my do not cut plate on the bottom. For me, when I'm using a steel rule die, because there's no design here for you to see, it's easier, and you can't see through it, it's easier for me to reverse the sandwich, put my cut plate on the bottom, put my die facing up, put my paper, and then my cut. So my do not cut, my die facing up, my paper, whether it be paper leather or cardstock or pattern paper, and then my cut plate, and send it on through. And away it goes. It doesn't need anything else. It doesn't need any of the platforms that the machine came with because the steel rule die is as thick as those platforms. So if you're out shopping and you see, look at how beautiful that cut. Everything just cuts right on out. And I do mean everything because it has an actual blade. So you're able to cut fabric and leather and paper leather and probably 6 to 8 sheets of cardstock at any one time. Steel rule dies were the original dies, and they're truly a workhorse. They're not as intricate, perhaps, like let's see if I. So a steel rule die is never going to be as intricate as the butterfly. It just, you're never going to find a steel rule die. You may find a steel rule die that's the shape of a butterfly, but never with the beautiful detail in it. They're never going to be able to do that in a steel rule. But you can only cut 1 or 2 sheets of paper at a time with this die. Can't really cut fabric with it. Steel rule, because somebody has to actually insert that blade and shape it, the shapes are a little more basic. But what you can cut with it is a lot. Now, this die is this one right here, and it makes this album. It makes the outsides of this album, and there is definitely a way to put this together, and I want to show you that because it's not hard at all. But it does take a little thought. So, I've cut 2 pieces of my paper leather, and I don't know, I suppose I can try and zoom in just a little bit. I don't know if you can see, but there's 3 holes at the bottom, and 1 hole is larger, the middle hole, and 3 holes at the top, and 1 hole is larger. The middle one is larger, and then there's a hole in the center. So I have 2 of those. These 2 together are going to make the cover of my album. Now, there is directions on the inside. See? Directions? Absolutely. I'm not so sure that the directions are as clear as they could be, but I think for the space they had, they did a very good job. I want to show you a little maybe easier way to get it done. And the first thing to do is have Stacy tape handy or your double-sided tape. They don't say to tape it together before you start doing the binding, but I'm going to tell you it's much easier to put this together if you tape the two sides. So do you see how I have put a little bit of Stacy tape on the edge where the holes are? Now I can peel that Stacy tape off, and I can bring over my second sheet, and I'm going to marry those holes up. I'm going to line them up so that you can see right through them. Right through them. And now my two pieces are stuck together. My holes marry up, and this is what's going to make the seam to my book. Now, they didn't put a score line in this for you in the die, and I sure do wish they had, but there's a very easy way to take care of that. You've got a line right here. That's where they overlap. This is the top piece that's overlapping. All you have to do is fold to that piece. If you don't have a bone folder or a scoring tool, fold to that piece. And then I'll fold it the other way. Ta-da! Scored. Now I turn it over and look it, there it is again, that same piece, only this time. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold this one into that piece and fold it right to that line, and it's just going to stop itself right on that line. And then fold it back. Assuming that you don't have a scoring blade or a bone folder. And by George, look at there. Hot diggity dog, we got ourselves a book. But how do you put any pages into it? Why did they give you those holes? There has to be a reason for them, correct? Yes, there is. And this is where having the twine from Best Creations comes in handy. They want you to start with about a yard of twine or rope or thread or whatever you're going to use. They want you to start with about a yard of it. And then you're going to put it through your very first hole. That was me getting it wet. Come on, oh, let me cut it in. See if I can get a better edge. This is what happens when you're getting older and you can't see it. Oh, see, look at much easier. Took my tweezers and just put it right through. Much easier for me. There we go. Okay, so I've got it through my first hole. Now I'm going to pull all the way, but I'm going to leave just a little bit hanging. Can you see just a little bit hanging? And I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to take this, and now I've got all the rest of that twine, and I'm going to put it through my next hole. All the way down. Okay, so hole number 1 to hole number 1 with a little bit of twine left over, just a little bit of twine. Then I'm going to take my twine again, and I'm going to come through my middle hole, which is that bigger hole. And this time I'm going to leave a little bit of a loop right there, a little bit of a loop. And I'm going to put it right through the big hole. So you're just weaving it in and out of the holes that they've given you. A little bit of a loop. Then, so that's where I'm at. A little bit of a loop. Then I'm going to put it through my last hole. And again, I'm going to leave a little bit of a loop. See the two loops? But I can already tell you, I don't think I gave myself enough rope, enough twine. I don't think I left myself enough twine. But we'll see. I'm going to put it through my last hole. Oh, maybe by the hair of my chinny chin chin. So I've got one piece hanging off here, one piece hanging off there, and two loops. Now to make this work, all you have to do is take the ends of each and put it back through that center hole. Remember that center hole was bigger than the other two? All I have to do is take my twine and put it back in through to my center hole. And I'm going to take this end. Remember I left this end? I'm going to take this end and put it right back through into my center hole. And then once I have that, all I have to do is tighten. And I have bound my book. And then I can take these into the center and tie a knot. And now I have made it possible to insert pages in my book. I'm going to do this one more time. We're going to do it again. Wait. I know! We're going to do it one more time. Slow motion. No, I don't know how to do slow motion. Okay. You take your twine, your cord. Make sure you leave yourself plenty. They say about a yard. Cut it off. Start with your first hole right here. We'll start here. First hole down to the first hole. So string it on through. If you need your tweezers to help you do it, no big deal. The holes are plenty big enough to do that. String it on through and leave yourself some twine at the end. Then string it on through. And remember, I left some twine at the end. Now this time I'm gonna just put it through the big hole. With my tweezers. Grab it, pull my tweezers out, and pull it on through. And this time I'm gonna leave a little loop at the end, a little loop. So the first time I put it through, I left a little twine at the end, came all the way down, left a little loop at the end. Let's see if I can get it tighter. So loop, a little bit of twine at the end. Then take this, put it right down through the center hole again. And move it right across to my next one. My last hole on the top. Put it right on through. Oops. So I've made a little stitch. Pull it tight. Pull that one tight. And bring this one on down. I'm going to cut my edge because it's frayed. Put it right on through. Come on. There we go. And this one, I'm going to leave a little loop. So on both sides, you're going to have a string and a loop, a string and a loop, both sides. Then the last thing I have to do is just take these ends. All I have to do is take these ends and string them back through the center. That's all I have to do, is take my little end and just put it right back through my center. And remember, that's why that middle hole is bigger than the other ones, because your twine needs to go through it twice. And pull it up. And then let's take this one and put it right in that hole and pull it up. Grab those two ends and pull. And you've made your binding. But what do you then put inside there, Stacy? Well, don't worry, they took care of that too. There's a die for that too that coordinates with this. Tie my knot. Cut them off. And there's the beginning of my book for you. Oh, a little bit back. It's just going to take me a while to figure this out, the right front and back, how close and how not so close. So the last die is the coordinating die. This lets you do your pages. And this die is right here. And look at how much you get. You get the pages and then you get all the decoration. It is a lot. a lot. This will go on top to decorate. I mean, it's an incredible amount of product. Truly it is. So let's pull this one out. And let's bring our machine back over. Well, actually, let's grab a piece of cardstock. Okay, that'll work. I'm just using regular cardstock right now. And I'm gonna fold it in half. And score it. If you've got a bone folder, you can take your bone folder to get a really nice edge on it. Okay. This is important. This die will let you do 2 pieces at once. But I want you to see on this die, do you see these little notches? I don't know if it's zooming in or not. Do you see these little notches on the side? That tells you that you cannot take your score line past that little notch. See how I've scored my paper? Made a little pumped head out of it? You cannot take your paper and go past those little notches. My score line has to be kept below those little notches. Why? If I take my score line and I go above, then I'm going to cut out the entire thing and I'm going to get a solid, just one piece. Well, there'll be 2 individual pieces of paper. If I keep my score line below those notches, this cut line at the top here will not cut anything, leaving my 2 pieces of paper intact. You're like, wait, you lost me. Hold on, come back. Wait a minute. All right, let me show you. So I'm bringing back my base platform and my shim. I've got my cut plate down. I've got my paper that has the score at the top closest to the side of the die that has those 2 notches, and I'm going to put it down. Put my cut plate on top and send it on through. Oh, a little bit of a cut. Am I off? Oh yeah, my plate is off. So I need to straighten my plates out. There we go. Straighten my plates out. There we go. Okay. So what you would normally think to get was that I had just cut 2 pieces of paper in a rectangle. But because I kept my score line down below that top notch, I was able to keep my paper intact to make. Look at that. If I had just cut 1, let's say I just put this right on top, didn't care that my score line was there, didn't pay a bit of attention to any of that, and I cut it. I don't have a score line, I don't need a score line, I just want a rectangle. Okay. There you go, there's your rectangle. But by keeping that score line below the notches, and they gave you the guide, it's right there built into the die. By keeping that score line below those notches, you were able to keep your paper and make a little book. Oh, but what do I do with that? Well, that's where these come into play. This slides right into your very first one. break my knot? I think I broke my knot. I did break my knot. All right, well, we'll just make it tighter again. All right, there is my first page, my first 2 pages. Then, if I do it again, score my paper, if you've got a bone folder or a scoring tool, however you get it scored, bring my machine back over, bring my die back over. I can trim my paper down a little bit. Keep my blade off my paper. Keep my paper below those notches. Bring my machine and the platforms back over. Line it up. Make sure my score line is where the notches are on the die. And send it through. Oh, I moved it. I think I'm okay. Let's go. Now imagine doing this with pattern paper to make beautiful little books. Ooh, there's the thump. Creaks and cracks are okay. Don't worry. There's my next 2 pages. So I need to tighten this up. Tighten, tighten, tighten. Pull, pull, pull. I'm going to cut that and tie it one more time. So let's take this. Oh, Stacy, Stacy, Stacy. Okay, let's tie it again because my knot came loose. See, that's the hardest part is having somebody put their finger there for you. I don't know if I'm going to get it in there. Having somebody keep their finger in there for you. Once you do this about, I don't know, 2 times, you've got it. So I've got my first page going through my first binding. And yes, you can use the elastic if that's easier. I like the twine because it's cuter. But I had SMS girls to help me to put their finger down so I can tie my knot. Okay, there's my first page. Then open this one up. Second row of twine. Put it right on through. So you can add 6 pages to this book. And slide, 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 slide. There. Ha-ha, ta-da! And then you decorate. But I could do one more. And then you decorate. This is an easy die to use. And if you wanted to use them as single pieces as opposed to cutting 2, they've given you a way to bind them so that you can tape 2 of them together. 2 of them together. Where did I put it? Nope, not there either. I know I cut a single. Well, I will show you. I thought I cut a single. I know I cut a single. But you can use this piece right here to take 2 singles and tape it together and make it a double and then slip it underneath if you don't want to score. They've given you so many options, truly so many options. So let's see. Let's take these two and see if I can get it to cut through both. So I'm just going to cut two rectangles. That's all I'm going to do is cut 2 rectangles. I'm not worried about a score line or anything. Send it on through. Ooh. Am I going to get a loud ka-thump? Can't tell. I can't tell. I'm nervous. Well, you know what? I'm going to send it on back. Let's send it on back and I'll do a rotate. Okay, let's rotate. And maybe I won't get as loud of a thump. Oh, good. No ka-thump. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm going to send it on back and we're going to do it again. Maybe that'll be enough. I got one, no problem. Well, wahoo ka-choo for me. All right. And then let's cut that little piece. Oh, not long enough. Oh, that'll work. So let's say you don't want to use 2 pieces of paper and fold them and score them and try and cut 2 at one time. Let's put that right down there. Bring my machine over. I do not cut. And send it on through. Okay, now I can take Stacy tape. It's already scored for you. So I can take Stacy tape, put it down the center of this, and then attach these 2 pieces together. Stacy tape down the center. That's not such a center. That wasn't so close to center. Well, now I've got a little bit over here and a little bit over there, but that's okay. Peel off my liner. Take one side. Put one side here. Take one side. Put one side here. Fold it on the score, and then slip underneath. If you don't want to fold 2 pieces of paper or 1 piece of paper at the same time and try to hold it below the score line, you can do it this way as well. They've given you options. So now I have all of my pages in my book. It really is simple. It really is easy. And then you decorate, and you decorate any way you see fit. The beautiful, beautiful glitter tapes. These are the different, so there's scallop, and that comes in 6 colors. And then there's chevron, which comes in 6 colors. And then there's the regular glitter tape, which comes in, I guess, 15 colors. And then there's wide that I die cut with, that comes in 4 colors. And then there's a fancy wave that comes in 6 colors, and your regular wave that comes in 6 colors. And then you just decorate. And you've done it, and you've made a mini album, you've made a journal, you've made a coupon book, you've made an autograph book. Think of you've made a wish list. You've made a secret diary for a little one, their very first journal, their very first place to draw and color. You can do this, and to bind it is simple. But you have options. You can do this one. You can do this one. You can do this one. Or you can take the inserts from this and make your own. And just use the inserts. There's so much to be done with these. And then painting on the leather is up to you. The black and the tan can be done with metallics. With the Yasutomo or your Brilliance inks, anything that is a pigment-based ink or a metallic will lay on top and be beautiful. And if you love the white, well, the white can be done with just about any coloring you want. But now look at how it's beautiful. It's dry and yummy and beautiful. So pretty. And I think that by showing you what comes in the different sets, by pre-die cutting it out for you, this is a pocket. Wait till you see how darling it is. You get a better feel and a better understanding of what the sets have to offer. And you may already have these sets and not know how to put them together. Oh, this is really long. I'm so sorry. And I didn't really even get into the David Tutera stuff. So let me show you product first, and then I'm going to show you samples, because the samples are stellar. So I am going to back it up just a little bit. Okay, so paper leather, 6x6 white. Be on a YouTube, yummy. You saw me color it. Then we have the special. This is the 8.5 by 11. You get 10 sheets, 5 sheets of black, 5 sheets of tan, plus 2 free rub-ons from Ellison that retail for $4.99. This entire thing retails for $21.98. We've got it for $6.99. Just the paper leather alone retails for $16.99, and we've got it for $6.99. And that gives you 5 sheets of black and 5 sheets of the tan. Only here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. We're the only ones who have this value pack for $6.99, and we only have so many of them. So an exceptional value. Then we have all the different dies. All right, so here's the butterfly set and the stamp set that I used from David Tutera, $14.99. It's at such a ridiculously low price, it's amazing. Another stamp set from David Tutera I didn't even get to use today. Another butterfly die set. And the David Tutera stuff is once it's gone, it's gone. When it's sold out, it's sold out. Then we have the dies that I used. Here's our easy peasy one. Look at how cute. All the stuff comes with it. This does the cute little bracket book. That's this one here. Then we have the cute little, and they tied ribbons through the top. See, I was telling you, you put the ribbon through and tie it through the top. Then you've got the darling little book that we did here with all the doodads and accoutrements added to it. Then we have the set. There's no reason, I can't say that. This and this, they work together. You can use this independently because it will make its own little mini album out of the pages. You can use this independently of this if you want to make your own pages, but they really were made to go together, and we'll be offering them as a bundle at 30% off for the bundle. And this made the last one that I did, which is just beautiful. When it's all done, they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. And then I have, oh my goodness gracious, all the twines and all the different glitters, the glitter tape that will make your heart happy in so many different colors and in so many different styles, between the wave and the straight edge and the fancy wave and the thick and the they're just, it's everywhere. I was so excited when Best Creations told me that this was not discontinued. I was just thrilled. I mean, they're just beautiful, and they start at $1.99, and then the larger ones are $5.99, and they'll all be on a YouTube Yummy. So here's the 4 colors of the larger, and then all and let me tell you, there's more twine, all the different twines, and they start at they're $1.99, and then they'll be on sale. 15 yards. Holy smokes, artichokes. All right, let me show you samples, because I know this is really late. All right. I think I'm going to tilt down just a little, no, up a little bit more. Here we go. How cute is this? And that was done with the one where we just put it right through and tied it. And you can add as many pages as you want. And then here is the larger one that I did. And the pages are inside. We still could add another couple pages. And then here is the bracket with the pages inside. How beautiful is that? And another bracket. And this time, we've gone ahead and we've decorated. Right? And you can do this. I promise you, this is easy peasy. Take all of the scraps that you have from all the different collections, all the paper you couldn't get rid of, that you just couldn't throw away either, and start making these darling little, there's that pocket. Remember I told you how cute is that pocket? And then this pulls out and it has a tag that opens up, and the little clippies are part of the dies. How cute is that? Look at that. And the die does this. It puts that in there for you. Yay. Our bracket book. I showed this one on Facebook. And look at how cute are those little tabbies. Those tabs come with the one with the coordinating that goes with this. Those tabbies come with the die that coordinates. Cute, right? And then look at the fairy book. Pages inside. You can do this. Once you get the binding down, easy peasy. Oh my gosh, how cute is this? Look at all the little clips. Those are die cuts, those clips. Those are dies that are in one of the sets. And then we made some cards with the same sets. Instead of doing a layout or a mini album, we made cards. all using sets that are on sale. Okay. Is this the one that has the, oh yeah, this one has the SMS gift card added to it. The little pocket is part of one of the die sets. Look at how cute. And again, one of our make and takes using the glitter tape, which is amazing. And another little tag that Claire threw together using the glitter tape. That's the wide glitter tape. The wide glitter tape and one of the Sizzix dies. And then last but not least, the Celebrate. And that's in the David Tutera stamp set. And that was heat embossed. The die and stamp set. All right, this was wildly long. I know that. I am so sorry. And maybe I lost 80% of you by now, I guess, but it is what it is. And I'm not gonna retape it. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. And hopefully you learned something new. All right, you guys, it's me, Stacy. Where are you going to find all of this product? Scrapbookingmadesimple.com, or come visit us in our retail store. If you happen to have an independent retail store, ask them first if they have any of these products, and if they do, buy them there first, then come shop with us. It is me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple. I will see you next week. Scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Slightly under 2 hours, but not much. All right, you guys, bye.